Hello students, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Akifa's Commerce Classes. So in today's session we will study about the levels of management. So the topic that I am going to cover today is about the levels of management. Now the levels of management, they are broadly classified into three levels. The first is the top level, the second is the middle level, and the third is the low level. So we'll study all these levels in detail. So we'll start with the top level. Now in this top level management, we have to remember that it comprises of the senior most executives of the organization. As you all can see that I have written here, it basically comprises of the managing director, the chief operating officers, the chief executive officers, the president, the board of directors, and so on. So now they are at the top level. Now as they are at the top level, they are responsible for formulating the plans and objectives for the organization. So it is important for us to understand that whatever plans or policies are formulated or are framed, they are framed by the top level managers. Now we know that every organization, it tries to achieve the goals and objectives which are mentioned in the plan. So in order to achieve those goals and objectives, it is important to have a plan. So this plan is framed by the top level managers. So apart from this, the top level managers, they are also responsible for the welfare and survival of the company. Now what happens is that as the top level managers, it comprises of the board of directors, so they are responsible for communication with the outside world, and at the same time they also are held accountable towards the shareholders because of the performance of the company. Now shareholders are those who have invested their money into the company, therefore they are very much interested in knowing about how the company is performing. Now apart from all these things, the top level managers, what they do is they are also responsible for appointing the middle level managers, like mainly the marketing manager, the purchase head, the branch manager, and so on. They are appointed by the top level managers. Now the top level managers, they have to see to it that they are promoting harmony among the different departments. Now this is one of the important functions that the top level managers perform. Now it is important to consider the middle level and the lower level employees while taking any decisions, because what happens is, as I said, that the plans are formulated or are framed by the top level managers, but the middle level and the lower level management, they are responsible for converting the plan in actual reality. So it is important to take their suggestions and take the decisions, because ultimately they are the ones who are going to convert your plans into reality. Therefore the top level management has the responsibility of taking into consideration the opinions and suggestions of all the levels of employees, be it the top level, the middle level, and the low level. So in general, we can conclude that the top level management, it has some duties which it has to perform. Namely, first it frames the objectives and the plans. Secondly, it appoints the managers of the middle level employees. Thirdly, it is accountable to the society, to the outside world, and to the shareholders. And fourthly, it also has to see to it that it is promoting harmony among all the employees of the organization. So now we'll start with the second level of management, that is the middle level of management. Now students, we have to remember that the middle level management, it acts as a link between the top level management and the lower level management. So we have to remember that the middle level management, it is a subordinate to the top level management and a superior to the lower level management. Now as a manager of the middle level, the manager has to perform various duties. Like for example, they have to see to it that there is adequate amount of personnel in every department, be it purchase department, sales department, marketing department, and so on. It is important to have adequate amount of personnel. It means sufficient amount of employees, because if there are no sufficient amount of employees in any department, then the other employees are overburdened with the work, and this should not be done. So in order to see to it that the activities are being flowed in a very smooth manner, it is important that the required amount of staff is available. Secondly, it should also see that there is cooperation among all the different departments. Now if an organization does not have cooperation among the different departments, then it can lead to a chaos. So it is important that there is cooperation between all the departments. Thirdly, and the most important one, is that it helps in conveying the plans and policies of the top level to the lower level. Now what happens is that the lower level employees, they are not aware about the policies or the plans that have been framed by the top level managers. So it is important on the part of the middle level management to make it available to the lower level employees. It means they should be informed about whatever decisions or whatever plans the top level managers have been taken. And apart from this, what happens is that there are times when the lower level managers, they may face certain difficulties, they may have certain issues or queries, and they are not in a position to go and talk to the top level managers directly. So here the main role of middle level manager comes into picture. So it is the role of the middle level managers to take the queries of the lower level employees to the top level managers. So it is important that the middle level management plays a very important role in this. So this was in general about what are the duties of a middle level managers. So as I said, the first duty is to see to it that there is cooperation among all the employees or among all the employees in the different departments. Second is to see to it that they are ensuring that whatever policies and decisions have been taken by the top level are conveyed to the lower level employees. And also it is important that the middle level managers, they assign duties and responsibilities to all the employees in the organization. Now what happens is that when the employees are put into different departments, they do not have a general idea about what they have to do. Therefore it is important that the middle level manager, they give them responsibilities and duties. So every employee in every department knows what he or she has to do or what is expected from him or her. So it is important on the part of the middle level manager to assign duties to everybody. So this was in general the role that the middle level manager performs. So now we move on to the third level of management, that is the low level of management. Now we have to remember that this low level of management is also known as the supervisory level of management. And this lower level management, it plays a very important role in the organization because they interact with the direct labor force. Now only this is the level of management wherein there is a direct interaction between the workers. Now we know that the actual workers are the ones who are going to bring a plan into existence. So this is one of the important levels of management because there is a direct interaction between the lower level managers and the workers. Now we also have to see that the lower level managers, they comprise of the following, like the supervisor, the foreman, the clerk, the inspector, the junior manager, and so on. Now as a lower level manager, the manager has to perform various duties. So let's study about the different duties the lower level manager performs. Firstly, he has to assign the task and duties to the workers. Now what happens is that when the workers enter into an organization, they do not know about the objectives or the plans that the organization aims to achieve. So it is important that you tell every employee or every worker that what is expected from them. It means you give them specific tasks which they need to accomplish. This is the first thing. Second thing, it is important that you guide them in day-to-day activities because it is very important in order to provide right guidance to them so that whatever activities they do, it channelizes towards achieving the goals. Thirdly, it is important that you maintain good relations with the employees. Now what happens is that, for example, you take that a particular employee is coming late to the work on a regular basis, is coming late, or maybe he is being absent in a particular month. Now instead of shouting at him or warning him that his pay may be reduced or you will cut his wages, it is important that you be a little considerate towards the worker. You can ask the worker about what difficulty he or she is facing or what is the reason behind he or she coming late to work. So when you do this, when you have this attitude towards the worker also tends to feel that this particular manager did not reprimand me when I came late or when I was absent. So this will later affect the productivity. The worker will try to give his best because he will feel that the manager is thinking about him and therefore he will see to it that he also performs better. Fourthly, he has to prepare periodical reports. He has to prepare reports about the performance of the workers, and these reports he has to submit it to the middle level, which in turn will then go to the top level management. Next is that they have to, the middle level managers, they have to arrange for the required resources, tools which are required in order to complete a particular task. Now the worker is not responsible in order to collect all the resources which are required to perform a specific task. It is the responsibility of the lower level manager to kind of bring all the resources and make it available to the worker so that he can perform the task accordingly. Nextly, the lower level manager also has to see to it that the quality and the quantity of the production is satisfactory, because if the quality is low, then it may not be accepted by the upper level management. So it is important that the quality and the quantity is satisfactory. Next, the lower level manager should also see to it that there is discipline among the employees, because if there is no discipline among the employees, then there will be a chaos, and because of which the productivity may be affected. And therefore, to see to it that the productivity is not hampered or is not affected, it is important to see to it that the lower level manager maintains discipline among all the employees. The next function that the lower level managers perform is that they act as a mediator between the workers and the middle level managers. Now what happens is that the workers may have certain queries, or they may have suggestions, or maybe they may have recommendatory appeals which they may not be in a position to go and directly talk with the middle level managers. So the lower level managers, they convey all their suggestions from the workers to the middle level managers. So this were in brief about all the functions which are performed by a lower level manager. So in today's session, I covered the topic, that is the levels of management, wherein I explained about all the 3 levels of management, that was the top level, the middle level and the lower level. If there are any queries or suggestions, then please put it down in the comment section. Thank you.